before we get into your, I mean, we've sort of touched on it already with the big ones, but before we get into the journey of your pro racing career, I want to talk about, because I'm a massive advocate for women in sport. I think the way the equality is going is the right way, and I always preach horse racing as one of the parts in that. Have you felt that as a jockey, the equality in women's sport? Because for you, it probably seems quite normal having women competing with you guys and just getting on as if nothing's new. So, what's it like for you to see the rest of the world sort of catching up?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and you know, like racing still gets a little bit of stick for it, which is ridiculous because we compete with women on a level playing field, and you know, rightly or wrongly, we treat them like as equals. You know, we're all the same. We're not. She you know, she's not a woman. We're not men. We're just jockeys. You know, that's how we look at it. There are some who will remain nameless female jockeys that try to separate it themselves, you know, like look for special treatment because they're girls or women, and it shouldn't be like that. We're all just jockeys and we're competing together, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. You know, and it's something that should be encouraged. Rachel Blackmore last year, absolutely unbelievable. You know, all the winners she had, the Cheltenham she had, winning the national. If that doesn't inspire the next generation of female jockeys, then I don't know what will. And she said it herself. You know, she doesn't see herself as a woman jockey or a woman rider. She is just a jockey, just like the rest of us. And that's the attitude that we want. And I dare say you're never going to see women's rugby and men's rugby joining. And I can't see there being a mixed team. But what slightly saying I get annoyed about it is wrong, but you know, women's rugby or women's football isn't, you know, it's not on the same level as men's in terms of TV coverage. You know, like, you know, your Six Nations, whatever, it's on mainstream TV and it's accessible. Whereas I know the women's is on TV, but you kind of have to go out your way to find it. It's hidden on the back channel somewhere, or you have to live stream it or something like that. And I don't know why it's not, you know, pushed at us a bit more, because it's, you know, it's great TV to watch, and it's something that should definitely be encouraged.
No, I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. I thought the way you summed it up at the start was beautifully of, I'm not a male, she's not a female, we're all jockeys, that's it. And I think that's so perfect for women's sport as well. It's just, we're all just athletes, is what we are. We're athletes.
All you want to do is compete at the highest level, and if, you know, everyone that's there has sacrificed a hell of a lot to get there, and, you know, you've got to respect that, and that's all everybody's trying to do. And I hate when they try, and the media are just as bad. They try and separate it off. They try and make it men and women and this and that, and it's not. As you say, we're all just athletes trying to perform and compete against each other. And racing has been streets ahead of every other sport for a long time now, in the fact that we all compete together, which is great. And as I say, it's not even strange for us. It's completely normal, and there's some bloody good female jockeys out there. So yeah, long may that continue.
Exactly. Well, I'll be honest, my personal favourite jockey behind you, obviously, is Bryony Frost. I also put the local man, but Bryony and Frodon have always been my favourite. They're my go-to. If there's ever a race, I was like, yeah, Bryony and Frodon, it's done. Even if they're like 30-1 outsiders, I'm like, Bryony and Frodon, I'll back them to the hill. So
they're like, I'm trying to think of the ultimate combination. Some film somewhere must have like the ultimate duo. I mean, the races they've won, and the way that they bond in a race is pretty special. And it's probably something that you won't see for a generation. Like the connection that those two have, and the way that, you know, the races that they've won is incredible. And you know, and just like Rachel Blackmore, you know, Bryony's managed to you know, do a lot for women in sport and in general. Yeah, so as I say, it's great that they're there competing. But again, I'll say it again, you know, they're not competing as women, they're competing as jockeys, and that's the main thing.
Exactly. No, couldn't have put it better myself. I could not. That was almost so perfect the way you described it. People wouldn't believe that was a one-take thing, but that was perfect. that was perfect. I was just like, if I've ever wanted something to sum up how like equality in sport should be in terms of gender, I'll just play that.
Oh, send it everywhere. Send it there.
Hey, I'll be asking you. You're the famous one on the podcast.
this is what we think about equality. This is the way we go.
I know. Of all the places you'd never think you'd find it, the rural borders. Here we are.